Hello everyone, another piece of God's word and encouragement for you. Today we'll be looking at the book of 2 Kings chapter 4 from verses 1. This is about the story of Elisha and the widow. Now this widow's husband died, leaving her with debt, and the creditors came to collect the money, but they were going to take the sons as a ransom for the debt because she felt she had nothing to pay them with. So she called Elisha to help her. And when Elisha came, he asked her, the second question that he asked her is, what do you have in your house? What an interesting question for a woman who was called a prophet of God. She's expecting this prophet to pray for miracle, financial miracle. But instead, Elisha is asking her, what have you got in your house? And that is the same question that God is asking you today. What have you got in your house? Now that house signifies your life. What have you got? Many times we think that when God is going to do things, He's going to do things from the outside. But listen, most times in the Bible, when God wanted to do a miracle, He always used what was already there. Let's take, for example, the story of Moses. He asked him, what have you got in your hand? And Moses said, look, and it was just a rod. But that rod performed all the miracles. Now today, Elisha, just like Elisha asked the woman, God is asking you today, what do you have in your house? The answer that the woman gave was so interesting. She first of all said, nothing. Before she now remembered, except a jar of oil. There is nothing like nothing in God's kingdom. God has deposited things in your life, like your gift, like your talent. Those are the things that God is going to use to perform miracles. That miracle that you're waiting for, that progression in your career, that financial abundance. It is those things that God has deposited that He's going to use. Stop looking out there. That question is for you today. What have you got in your house? What is that jar of oil that you've got? This story is so loaded, and we're going to talk more in other videos. But for today, the question to answer is, what do you have in your house? I'd like you to go back and sit down and ask God, what have you deposited in my life? What are my gifts and my talents? And He will show you, because that is the jar of oil that the woman finally remembered that she had. But until next time,